Hey guys, it is E with Scrapbooking with me, and it is Tuesday, so this is the day that we do a project that one of you suggested, and we draw every Tuesday. And if you want to have your comment put in our container here to be possibly drawn, all you need to do is leave a comment under this video letting us know what you would like to see us either create, or a product used, or how to use a product, or some kind of question, just whatever. This one last week was from Michelle's Crafts and More, and she said she's really into mini albums, so a mini album would be great. So I thought I would do one. This is going to be kind of a, I guess, a Halloween or fall mini album. I'm not real big into Halloween, but I do some fall things, so it's going to be a little bit fall and a little bit Halloween. The first thing I did was took some chipboard, and this is just some lightweight chipboard, and I cut this at 6 by 8, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 6 by 8. And then I took my craft knife and my ruler, and every inch I went down through there with my craft knife and just scored a little bitty score line. I didn't cut it all the way through, as you can see. I just scored it to where it would cut that top part of that chipboard. And the reason being is we're going to make this look like one of those wood pumpkins, hopefully. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take my black Copic marker. You could use any marker for this, and I'm just going to go down I'm bending that back where I scored that, and I'm just going to go right down through there and put some black in there. I'm going to fold the next one back and just go down through, putting that black in there. So you're going to do that to all of them, all of the little cut places. Okay. And now what we're going to do, we've got that on there, and this will lay back down when we get started on it. This is going to be the little brim of his hat, so we want to put it at a little bit of an angle, and I'm going to go ahead and mark where I want his hat to be, and I think right there would be good. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw me a little line across there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of this Post-it tape right where that line is, hopefully, right there. And all that's going to do, well, I didn't go very straight, did I? All that's going to do is just, when I start inking this up, it's just going to keep me from getting ink where I don't want it. And now I'm going to take my ground espresso and my vintage photo, my little daubers, and my Tim Holtz wood grain stencil, and this is what we're going to do. The top part I want to be darker than the bottom part. This is going to be his face, this is going to be his hat, so I want his hat to be pretty dark. So I'm going to use the ground espresso, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to start going over it, making some circular motions. When I first go down, I don't touch the chipboard. I just lightly, easily touch it, because if you go down straight into it, you're going to get that circle that's off of here. So I kind of start making my circular motions in the air before I touch the chipboard. I'm going to make the edges a little darker. Okay, and now what we're going to do is lay this wood grain stencil on top of that. I'm going to use the ground espresso again, and I'm going to go over this, putting some of that down in that stencil. See that, how that's making it look like wood? And we should be able to get, I'm going to get that knot in there right there. So I'm going to bring that on down. Okay. So there we go. There's the top. There's his hat on the top. Now I'm just going to go around this and make sure these edges are a little bit darker. So we're taking a new piece of the Post-it tape because that one's not going to stick again, and I don't know if this one's going to stick because I've got it on top of that ink, but we're going to try it. If it doesn't, we'll just use, and if you don't have this Post-it tape, no, don't worry about it. We'll just use a piece of paper if this doesn't work and lay it down there. Just anything to keep you from going over that line. And you don't have to be that precise because we're going to put that little piece of his hat across there. So, alright, now we're going to take the vintage photo and we're going to do the same thing at the bottom. So all I'm going to do is the very same thing that I did at the top. Do the same thing on the bottom. I'm going to make it kind of look like wood. There we have his hat and then the face part. And what we're going to do now, I want to go over this, and we're going to go over it with the dark. This is going to be part of his hat. When you're using chipboard, make sure that you ink up the edges of your chipboard because you don't want those to be left white if you're not covering them like I'm not. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead on the ends and ink that up a little bit because on the end it will show on the back side. Okay. Oops. I don't know why I'm putting that away. Then I'm just going to lay my stencil down on here, and I think I want this part. There we go. Very good. That's going to be so cute. Okay. Alright, so that is the front part of our album, and I will clean that up in a minute. Okay, now we can put this guy together, his hat. So let's put some score tape on the back. And we'll use our little tool, pull that backing off. And then we will lay him down right where we had that line there. See if that's about right. I've cut a triangle, just a little, it's a 2-inch triangle, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this for his nose. So I'm going to cover this and make it look like a candy corn. So I've got just a scrap piece of the orange that I'm using inside the album. Oh, and this little piece right here was cut at 1 inch by 7 inches. And all I did was I cut it, you know, my triangle at the 2-inch triangle, measured my center, and then cut my little triangle out, and then I just divided it into thirds with my pencil so that I could put these colored pieces on there. And there's our white scrap for the top. Now the middle one we're going to have to cut. I just want to make sure I've got those straight. So let's see what we're going to have to cut the middle one. Alright, and then I'm just going to flip it over and trim out around it. Okay, so there's our little piece of candy corn, and now I am going to take my ink. I'm going to ink up the edges just like we did on the other part, because I don't want that white showing on that chipboard. Go somewhere right in there, and then I cut out, and these are just some little circles. This is a 3/4 inch circle, and then this is a 1/2 inch circle, and I'm going to use that for his eyes and his little white part of his eye. Okay, so I think we're going to draw his mouth on, and I'm just going to make it kind of a zigzag. Okay, so we're going to start over here and just start zigzagging him a mouth. I have cut the back part of my album the exact same size, and I went ahead and measured down from the top. Let's see, and you can choose to close this whatever way makes you happy, but this is easier for me. I'm going to put little rings in mine. 1.5 inches from the top and 1.5 inches from the bottom. I just measured up and over 1/2 inch and put my hole in there. So then I'm just going to mark this one. So I'm going to put them together, and then I'm just going to mark the hole. And then I'm going to take my crocodile, and on the largest opening, and I've already got this set at 1/2 inch, so I can't go in any further than that. So I know when I punch it, when I push it up as far as it'll go, that's the 1/2 inch that I need. So there we go. So there is the front and the back of our little album. Now we are going to cover the inside of this. We're not going to cover this because that's going to be our front right there, but we are going to cover the inside of this and the inside and outside of the back. This is a black cardstock, and it is 6 by 8 because I'm going to make it exactly the size that this is. So I'm going to put that on there. Now I have already inked the edges on here, so I don't have to worry about those. But this one I have not inked the edges. So we're going to go ahead and ink this. And this is just making sure that since you're not wrapping your chipboard, this is going to ensure that all of that edge of that chipboard looks like it's wrapped rather than just raw chipboard. Now I'm going to put quite a bit on here because you know me, I like glue and I don't like it to stick, to pop up. I like glue and tape. I don't like my paper to have bows in it, so now we're going to try our best to get this as straight as possible. There we go. And now we're just going to flip it over and put that hole back in there again. Here's the front and the back of our album. We'll lay those aside for right now. Make sure that we don't have any ink on our table before we start on the pages. Okay, now for time's sake, I have already created some pages, but I'm going to tell you all the measurements and show you how to do these. Okay, for your front, for your page front, this is going to need to be 5.5 by 7. For the page back, and we're going to make these pocket pages, this is going to need to be 8 inches by 6 inches, and you're going to score on 3 sides at 1/2 inch. So we're going to do that first. If I can find my scoring tool, it's disappeared on me. So score it 1/2 inch on 3 sides. Okay, so we scored this at 1/2 inch on 3 sides. And then what you're going to do is take your scissors on the little corner, and I don't cut all the way across, I just kind of cut a little chunk out. I just cut a little chunk, just like that. And then I do that on the other side. For some reason I can't cut straight today. And now we're going to fold them up. And then you're going to put your score tape on this side right here. And I pull the backing off of the middle one first, and then what I do is I take the side ones and I stick it down to that one, just like that. So these side flaps will stick down to that middle one. And I didn't invent this. I'm thinking Super Happy Scrapper or Happy Scrapper is the one who I saw do this, and I have been doing my pages this way ever since. I will try to find her link and put it below, but a lot of you probably know who I'm talking about. She does all types of mini albums. Okay, then just pull the backing off of those. Then you're going to take the front part and you're going to lay that right down on there. trying to get it as straight as possible. Just like that. So there is your pocket page. Okay. So you've seen how I done that, right? If you have any questions on how I did this, just let me know in the comments below. And now we're going to mat this. Now your bottom mat, and I put double mats on all of these. The reason being is I used a paper pack that is, see if I can find the cover. I used this paper pack. It's a new collection by Doodlebug, and it's Booze and Brews, and I used the 6x6 because that's all I had. So using the 6x6, I had to mat this a little bit so that it would look a little bit more finished. So I just went through and picked out a color and put the cardstock behind there, and there we go. Okay, so this back mat is, let's see, this is 6.5 by 5, and then this top piece is 6 by 4.5. So therefore you can use your 6x6 paper pads on this. And I did go ahead and put this on just there again to save some time. And then just center it between all of that, like that. And then I flip it over, and I've got another one. Cut the same size. And let's see. Make sure we got it right side up. There you go. And that's going to leave you about 1/4 of an inch or a little bit more all the way around. And then there is your pocket. This is your insert piece, and it is cut at 6 inches, no, 6.5 inches by 4 5/8. So 6.5 inches by 4 5/8. And then this is going to be your mat for this. And the mats are cut at 4.5 by 6. Okay, so we have the mat on both sides of that, and then it will just slide right down in there. So now we are ready to put the album together. And like I said, I went ahead and did my other pages. I'm putting 6 pages in here, but you could do it any way that you want. And I did cut my pages quite a bit shorter, maybe an inch shorter, just because if you want to decorate some up this way by putting some little pumpkins or something on there, or little paper clips, you've got room without everything hanging out. So on this mat, what I have done, or on this insert, I cut some little pumpkins, and then I just drew on his little eyes and mouth and this little curlicue, and that's going to be the pull tab for this. And see, just his eyes will peek out there. So this is going to be the front one, and I've already punched the holes in there. So we're just going to lay this one on top of the rest of these and go ahead and mark the holes so that we can get all these holes cut out. We'll do one of these inserts to just show you how I put these little pumpkins on, and I just cut one out in orange and one out in yellow just to kind of alternate them. And I'm going to use a little bit of my glue. I'm going to put it on the back of one of them. And I'm going to put the top part of them together and hopefully hold that bottom part open. I'm going to make sure that I'm not putting it in the same place as that first one. Looks like I have it about halfway maybe. So we're just going to do it like that. Press it down. Then I'm going to go in and put a little bit of glue here on the back. And I go in a little bit with my distress tool with a little bit of ink on there just to put a little darkness around it. And then here you just be creative. I'm not an artist, so I just kind of draw the little eyes on there. And I drew him a little curly Q. And then just a little crooked mouth. And he is ready to go. And I don't want to put him in that one. Let's put him in this one. He's ready to go in there. So there's the first page and the second page. And now once, you see how they're sliding down in there right now, once we get the ring in here, they won't slide down any further than that ring will allow. So that's how it will look once I get all of them down through here. Super cute. So let's just go ahead and choose how we're going to put this together. I think that, and that. So I think that's going to be the way that it's going to go. Okay, so our holes are all lined up. We'll put our front cover on, our back cover on. Okay, I could only find one of my black rings, so we're going to put this on and then I'm going to look for the rest of my black rings here in a little bit. But we'll go ahead and put this together. Give you an idea anyway of what it's going to look like. And then what I'll do is tie ribbons and things right there. So I'm going to use this one just to hold it together for now, but just ignore that this one's silver. Okay. And then see, we can tie all types of ribbons and things there. Dress it up. Make it look really pretty. And if you wanted to, on the inside here, you could put a pocket. But here we are. Let's go ahead and put this back in. So see, as you can see, it's not going to slide any further now that the ring is in there. But you could put a pocket right here. Dress this up with some really pretty, you know, pumpkins or whatever you wanted to do. So you can put photos inside here. And then you have this one. And then this one, and I didn't put everything together for it, but I didn't do the insert for this one, but there's that one. And there's that one. That. And that. And they're all pocket pages, so they'll hold all of your goodies. And then here on the back, again, you could put another pocket, you know, decorate it up any way that you want it to be really, really pretty. So that is it. That is the mini album with a little bit of a different twist. And Michelle, I hope you like this. Hope you'll give it a try. If you do, please let us know. Send me a message or an email or something letting me know that you give this a try. And let's draw for next week. I have all the names and everything in here, so let's draw and see whose project we do next week. and what it's going to be. Go way down in there. Okay, this one is from Mary Pickham. She says, so glad your sale went well. I would like to see easy peasy Christmas gifts. Okay, we will do some Christmas gifts next Tuesday. We'll put that on our list and we will get some Christmas gifts together. I'll try to do at least 2 quick and easy Christmas gifts next Tuesday. Again, if you would like your suggestion to go into the cup, just leave it below this video. If you've already left one, you don't have to leave it again unless you have something new that you'd like to see tried. But just leave all your suggestions below this video. We'll put them in here. Put them in a different bowl next week, I'm sure, because this one's about full. And we will draw again next week to see what we come up with. And once again, Michelle, we thank you so much for your suggestion. We hope you like this mini album, and we will talk to you guys later. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. Bye-bye.